So today I'm going to be installing a set of RokBlokz mud flaps on my Mark 8 Golf R. It's kind of crazy to even say that out loud, the fact that I have one of these now. But these are the RokBlokz mud flaps. They are short with the black logo, so black on black. And yeah. So you can see I've opened the package, and here are the front flaps, here are the rear flaps, and they come with these little kind of like pull-through devices that help secure the mud flaps. This is different than the design for the Mark 7. It's a shame, I've already sold my Mark 7 mud flaps, but I almost thought that they would fit, but they created a different SKU, so I'm assuming they don't. But anyway, the Mark 7 ones actually force you to drill through a fabric liner, and I refuse to do that. I only use these 2 screw holes, so it's pretty cool that I can now use the 3rd screw hole, because I believe this allows for you to avoid that by going into the lower fender liner mount. That's my best guess, but here's what it comes with. It comes with a sticker, a set of flaps, pull-through tabs, a few plastic spacers, these stainless steel kind of, I think they're wood screws, but they look like wood screws, and then these stainless steel or aluminum washers that are anodized black. So I'm going to install them, and I'll just show the install process and the final result. So the front is mounted with this hardware. Previously, I used the washers and the OEM screws, but I think I'm going to try using the RokBlokz screws this time. The reason why is because this like little piece that sticks out further, there's just, it seems to me like having a little bit more thread available is not going to be a bad thing. One other thing I'm going to do first is I did also just undercoat the car. I added some undercoat since it seemed like a good opportunity to remove the fender liners. So previously I found out the screws that RokBlokz came with were not the correct thread pitch. But these actually are threading in pretty well. It doesn't feel like I'm cutting the threads at all, which I really like. So I'm choosing to use these RokBlokz, even though it feels really hackish to use Phillips head screws, or like the X. I don't know the official name of the X screw. And so what I will do is loosen both. I'm going to try and push both inwards. Looks pretty even to me. And just trying to avoid contact with the metal. So yeah, that's it. I also actually ceramic coated these because you can ceramic coat plastic, and I took the time to undercoat the entire inner fender since it wasn't done when I took it for undercoating, and a few of the suspension components for my own sake. So that was nice. So with these new RokBlokz in the rear, they come with this interesting little tab. So basically the mud flap sits like this, and the tab goes through, like so. And it screws into that screw I just removed. This is a better system because previously you had to modify the fender liner to hold it in at this point. So I ended up not, like you'd have to drill through this fabric fender liner, which is fine, but to me it's A, not very secure, so it's not even worth making holes in your fender liner. And B, I really don't like the idea of making holes in my fender liner. And so the way that the hardware goes in this is first there's a screw with a washer, and then on the other side of that put another washer, and then we put one of these plastic spacers like so. And the fact I can start these by hand really tells me that RokBlokz is using a more appropriate thread pitch, or maybe the nuts on the Mark 8 are different, like the kind of little well nut type deal things that accept the fasteners, because on my GTI it took a lot of force. It was almost like I was cutting the threads. Sucks. And so now it's a game of alignment. Me personally, I want the flaps pushed in as much as possible. So tighten the bottom screw first. And then it's kind of an adjustment on that axis. Oh, this looks pretty straight. looking at it. So here's just a little look at how the flaps look on the car from a side profile and in the garage. I'm also going to include one or two little images that I think kind of show off the mud flaps. But these have been on the car for a little bit. You can also kind of see how they affect how the dirt builds up on the car. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I mean, my short and long-term review is that these RokBlokz mud flaps are awesome. They don't touch the paint here, and that's what matters. Dirt doesn't really collect in between either. And they're simple. They are a bit expensive for what they are, but I really like them. I bought them twice on the Mark 7 and Mark 8, so total buy.